And today we're going to talk about one of the most intimidating parts of presenting feminine, tucking. And specifically, I'm going to address how to really start practicing for it. To get a thorough guide on tucking, I do have a video of that up on my channel, just called Tucking, a Thorough Guide. It addresses all the things I've just listed in a little more detail. If anyone doesn't know about sort of what tucking is, it is the process of hiding the male genitals under clothing to make that area inconspicuous and resemble a female sort of crotch region. It's a process of using either a gaff, which is like a compression underwear, or tape. There's two methods to go about it, being the really intimidating one, putting both of your balls upward into what are called the inguinal canals, or what I call the everything tuck, where you just pull the entire package back. Here are the steps to pace yourself. First thing you want to do is trim and or shave that area beforehand. When you're dealing with pubic hair and when you're dealing with tape, the worst thing you can do is not shave and walk around in that all day and have to take that off at the end of the day. Throughout the day, you could be moving around drastically. That's going to be constantly pulling at every single hair that is in contact with that tape. Another thing you want to do is make sure you shave your bum. It's not until you use tape to tuck that you realize how much is over there. You also want to listen to your body when you are tucking, especially if you're using the inguinal canal tuck. When those baseballs go right up into those chutes, they're in front of your body. They're not used to being shoved right up there to such a degree. You gotta listen to your body, and your body tells you right away that this is a sharp pain and this is hurting me. Tucking in a lot of ways is usually mildly uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. If you're in a lot of discomfort, then take it off. Just let the area breathe, let it rest, slump over, and try again. If it still hurts for the time being, try a different tucking method. Another thing you want to do is practice in private. Firstly, presenting yourself female is intimidating enough without having to worry about tucking and skimpy outfits. And so you have all the time in the world to honestly worry about getting your tuck right. It's better to have you as the critic of how good your tuck looks, or a spouse who can take a look at it, rather than the stares of others who either will tell you and have no problem telling you in whatever mannered way. It's not something you should rush before going out. There's no reason for it, really. Again, there's an incredible stress that could come from the fear that your tuck is not good enough and that it will undo itself in public and you have no sort of backup plan to defend yourself, which is why I recommend you always wear a gaff no matter what you do. An ultra tight tuck as well as an ultra loose tuck can cause issues. A tight tuck will start to feel numb and there will even be a stinging sensation. There are times where people have recollected that when they go to the bathroom, they can't tell when they started to pee and then when they stopped. This ties into the pain. If you feel a numbness and that stinging sensation, then you should take it off, stop, and try again later. The tuck should be secure, but it shouldn't be uber crazy like you're going Victorian on your ass. You want to start by tucking for shorter periods of time. It's not worth it to do a sloppy tuck, which is usually a painful tuck, for a very, very long time. You could start to grow nauseous and lightheaded, and we don't want that. And what you need to know with tucking is practice makes perfect. It is intimidating and it can be uncomfortable. You just have to monitor how your body is responding to you, and at some point it just becomes muscle memory. You just sort of know where to go, you know where to hold on to certain naughty bits, let the tape just roll over and do itself. And at some point you're like me, where you go to a full-time blue-collar job and you're tucked for 8 hours a day in the 30-degree humid heat doing hard labor, and you just don't even think about it. This could apply if you're using tape, especially if you're using something that is harsher than this or medical tape. You want to monitor your skin for any irritation. You've ever seen that movie, Girl, that came out? It's a little triggering, but there is an instance in that movie where our main character gets a genital infection from very harsh tucking. She's doing like ballet in the movie while she's all tucked up. The thing is, there's a lot of health concerns that can come from tucking, and you want to make sure that area is as sanitary, clean, and healthy as possible. Make sure that when you peel the tape back at the end of the night, on your first tries, monitor your skin for whatever redness there is, any irritation. Keep the area clean. Be hygienic, because when skin is folding all over on top and underneath one another, that can leave a lot of room for moisture, and if uncared for, can lead to some infections. And think about when you've been super abrasive with your tape, that it's almost like an open wound is now introduced into that very moist, sort of sweaty area, and that can lead to a whole ton of issues. So make sure you have something like a body lotion or a body butter, and shower frequently. Use some body wash. Make sure that area is taken care of if you're using something like tape on a regular basis to conceal your genital area. What you also need to know if you are transitioning in your MTF, that estrogen is almost in your favor in this regard. You'll sometimes get accounts from trans women that their testes are so big that they actually can't push upwards into those shoots. And what estrogen tends to do is it shrinks everything, right? That could help you in that regard for fitting yourself, and it just makes that area of your body softer and plumper, and that makes it far easier to conceal and put away. And the final tips I will give you is just be motivated, be patient, and challenge yourself. You know, when I was growing up and when puberty hit me, really cements this idea that I could not fit into that dress. I could not wear leggings and, you know, look good. Anything you do, you start to get good at it. And I would encourage you to just challenge yourself. You know, if you want to fit into something, like I said in the beginning of this video, there is just knowledge that you're not aware of, and there's just practice and experience that you have to go through, and eventually you'll be able to fit into anything you want. A leotard, bathing suit, you'll be able to nail it. Please don't get into the trap I got into where you try it once and then you're like, I can't do this. Like, I mean, like, everyone's gonna laugh. Like, I look ridiculous. You don't look ridiculous. Whatever you want to do for your expression and your way of showing yourself to the world, for lack of a better term and fittingly so, you've got the world by the balls. So swoop in and get what you want and present yourself in the way that you know you can. So that concludes this video. Feel free to check out my channel if you're interested in presenting yourself as a woman, if you are assigned male at birth. I've got a ton of videos and information that I'm hoping will help you in the long run. I hope you can join me in this journey to freedom and femininity. So stay beautiful, you all. Take care.